Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Talon and I'm here with another episode of Blair Tech Talks. Today, we're going to be talking about what the best work from home computer setup is. Let's get started. So there are a lot of different options to pick from when choosing a work from home computer setup. What you're probably used to in your standard office is something like this. It's a standard tower with a separate monitor, and these have been the standard for years. They're easy to repair and maintain, they're easy to deploy for IT organizations, and they're pretty powerful, but they take up a lot of room, and that's really difficult for when you're taking that home and you may not have as large of a desk as you have at work, or you may have other things on your desk that take priority. And so one of the options is going to be an all-in-one setup. So it takes this tower and it basically puts it on the back of the monitor and makes it an all-in-one unit. And these are great for saving space, but it's not as easy to connect multiple monitors. They're harder to repair and maintain and typically aren't as powerful as a standard tower. So these might not be the best option for a work from home setup. So another option is a tiny desktop paired with a monitor docking station. Now, there aren't many of these available on the market, but Lenovo is the primary manufacturer of them, and they call them tiny-in-ones. So basically, a Lenovo system, this is a Dell, but similar to this, is shrunk down super tiny. They're about this big, and they slide into the back of a standard monitor like this, or it looks like a standard monitor, but it has a bunch of connectors in the back, and it just slides in, and that kind of takes care of the cons that I had about all-in-ones with them being difficult to repair and maintain, because with this setup you just can kind of slide the tower out of the back of the monitor and you can take it apart, and it's much easier to repair than a standard all-in-one. But again, they maintain the same kind of cons as all-in-ones, where they're typically not as powerful, mainly because everything is so tight together they can't give them a lot of power. So that's another option if you're just looking to save space. Another option for a work from home setup is a laptop paired with a portable monitor. Now, this is becoming a more popular solution, and it's especially popular for people like accountants who are often going directly to clients, and they still need more than one monitor to get their work done effectively. One con with this type of setup is that the monitors are typically much more expensive than a standard monitor, and they're also smaller. So typically the largest you'll see is about a 15-inch panel. And this is a really cool solution if you're out and about a lot, but I think there are better options if you typically just work at a desk and you don't necessarily need that hyper portability with the additional display. The last option that I'm going to go over today, and what I personally think is the best, is something that's getting more and more popular day by day, and it is the laptop with a docking station. There are a lot of options when it comes to this, but I think that a laptop with a docking station gives you so much flexibility for not that much additional space. So a docking station doesn't take up much more room on your desk than the laptop itself does, and it also gives you a lot more expandability options. Plus, you still get the flexibility that comes with having a laptop. So whenever I work from home, I enjoy, occasionally leaving my desk and going and sitting on the couch or sitting outside for a few minutes and getting some sun. And so I think that this setup is really nice, especially for someone who wants that additional flexibility, or for someone who occasionally has to take their work with them but doesn't necessarily need all of the additional monitors or anything like that. So like I said, there's a lot of different ways you can go about piecing this together, but I think one of the best options is going to be to go to Blair Tech and get you a Dell E5440 Latitude laptop, and that's going to have the docking connector on the bottom that you'll need. And then you'll head over to Amazon and you'll grab you a ePort Plus replicator from Dell, and that's going to be the docking station that you'll use. And I'll have all these links in the description so you guys can take a look. But that setup for right around $400 is going to be a great budget option. That 5440 also comes with a 512 gigabyte SSD, a Core i7, and Windows 10 Pro, so it has everything that you need. And it also has a webcam, so if you're going to be needing to do any Zoom or Google Meet conferencing, you can get that done as well, so you don't have to worry about getting an additional webcam, which is really cool. So in addition to the docking station, there's going to be a few more accessories that you might need to complete your work from home setup. The first is, if you're using the docking station, you're probably going to want a wireless keyboard and mouse to go with it. I'll link a pretty solid Logitech system in the description, but the wireless capabilities of the keyboard and mouse are going to help you out a lot, and it's going to allow you to not have any cables all over your desk and just make a really clean look. Another thing that you might need are a couple of monitors. So that Dell docking station supports 2 additional monitors in addition to the one built into your laptop. So I'm going to link a couple of BenQ DisplayPort monitors as well. Those are 24-inch monitors, and they're reasonably priced, and I think that those would be a great addition to this setup. Another thing that you might not necessarily think of is if you don't have a printer at home, even if you don't use a printer often at work, when you're working from home, you might need to scan some documents or something like that. So you might want an all-in-one printer and scanner, and if you need fax capabilities as well, if you still work in an office that uses a lot of fax, you want something that has that built in as well. And again, I'll link a great HP Tank option up there in the description so that you guys can take a look at that. And another thing that you might want to take into consideration that you might not necessarily immediately think of is going to be your desk and chair options. So you're obviously going to want a desk that's big enough and comfortable enough to fit a couple of monitors and a printer and everything that you're going to need to have your work from home setup. But the most important thing really is going to be the chair. I feel like this is something that a lot of people leave out and they just grab the first chair that they see. But you're going to be sitting in this chair for 8, sometimes up to 10 hours a day for some people. And it's really, really important because that obviously supports your back and it supports your spine, and if something is out of whack or if your chair is just not ergonomically efficient, then you're gonna have a lot of issues after just a few weeks of working from home. That's something that a lot of people just don't even take into consideration, and it's worth investing a few $100s into a really good chair that you find really comfortable to make sure that you're as productive as possible and you're not in pain while you're working. So now you know everything that you need to pick up for a solid work from home setup. But what if you're not working from home right now and you're interested in picking up a work from home position? Well, if you go to FlexJobs.com, I'll put a link again in the description. If you go to FlexJobs.com, you can take a look at everyone that is remote hiring right now. And even though the COVID-19 crisis is happening and a lot of employers are cutting jobs, there are still a lot of companies, especially the higher tech ones, that are hiring a lot of remote positions right now. Even things like teachers or accountants or clerks, law clerks, you can get a work from home position, and you can find employment. You just got to know where to look. So check out FlexJobs.com. Not a sponsor, but if you want to be. So guys, that's going to be it for this episode of Blair Tech Talks. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If you want to check out any of the links, again, they're in the description. And now you know the best work from home setup and everything that goes along with that. So I hope you guys have a great day, and thanks for watching.